This story comes to us from theguardian.com. This is one I've been wanting to get to right away, but there's just like I said in another video, there's so much stuff going on. I'm releasing 3-4 stories a day because there's just so much going on. But this is one I wanted to get to. And, I always say when I'm recording the police, how I always say that they pull people out of their car to search the car. And then they tell them, all right, just get that taillight fixed. You got to fix it, citation for the taillight. You pull them out of the car to search them. Window tint, we're going to have to search your car. Why? Because you can't see in it? Well, the governor of Delaware has publicly condemned authorities in Georgia who searched a bus carrying a lacrosse team from a historically black college. Surprise, surprise, surprise. Now, Jenkins told the Delaware News Journal, the infuriating thing was the assumption of guilt on the deputy's behalf. That was what made me so upset because I trust my girls. You should trust them. They found no drugs. You should trust them. In a press conference, the Liberty County Sheriff William Bowman defended the stop. Well, surprise, surprise, surprise. The sheriff is defending his deputies in a civil rights violation. And you tell me, and I had a cop tell me once, there's no thin blue line. I don't know where you guys get that from. Crap like this right here is where we get it from.
The deputies was not aware that this school was a historically black or aware of the race or the occupants due to the height of the vehicle and the tinted windows.
Liberty County Sheriff William Bowman speaking out nearly 3 weeks after the Delaware State women's lacrosse team's bus was pulled over by his deputies, saying the driver was illegally driving in the left lane. That stop, which a student recorded and has gone viral on YouTube, quickly takes a turn.
In Georgia, they pull over a bus full of people of color. They're a lacrosse team. Okay, they didn't pull over a mafia family that could be high. They didn't pull over the Gambinos. They didn't pull over New Jack City. They pulled over a lacrosse team. John Carney, a Democrat, the Delaware governor, released a statement about the incident in which police officers searched the bus carrying the Delaware State University women's lacrosse team after stopping the driver for a traffic violation. They stopped the driver of the bus. He should have just gotten a citation. No. Governor Carney said, I have watched the video of this incident. It's upsetting, concerning, and disappointing. Moments like these should be relegated to part of our country's complicated history, but they continue to occur with sad regularity in communities across our country. It's especially hard when it impacts our own community, Delaware.
No personal items on the bus or person were searched.
We're going to check y'all's luggage.
If there is anything in y'all's luggage, we're probably going to find it.
An attorney with the ACLU of Delaware says the Fourth Amendment doesn't offer you as much protection as you might think. He says while some traffic stops do lead to legitimate arrests for serious crimes, he says people of color are often over-policed. And while he doesn't have all the details about the Delaware State case in Georgia, it's hard to know if the officers would have done such an extensive search on a bus that wasn't full of predominantly black passengers.
Now, the school paper in Delaware State first reported the incident. The bus driver, Tim Jones, who is also black, was stopped by officers in Liberty County, Georgia. Pull your bus over, boy. He was stopped in Liberty County, Georgia for reportedly driving in the left lane. During the stop, officers climbed aboard and informed students they would be searching their luggage for drugs. Now, he probably was in the left lane. Maybe he looked over to grab his coffee or something. I've done that a time or two. Maybe he was checking his phone. Maybe he was tired. He drove from Delaware to Georgia. That's a long-ass drive. These cops think they can do anything they want. Nothing's going to happen to them. And God forbid if you try to record them or, put them on social media, you're harassing. You're stalking. No, I'm holding you accountable. I'm sorry. I'm off on a tangent on this one because this has got me so upset. This is a clear Fourth Amendment civil rights violation.
The county sheriff is African American and says the stop was legit because he says a police canine somehow smelled something outside the bus along the busy piece of I-95. One of the deputies said this on the radio before anything was even searched.
There's a bunch of dang schoolgirls on the bus and probably some weed, maybe.
That search was extensive and deputies found nothing illegal. Delaware's Attorney General has now sent a letter to the U.S. Department of Justice asking them to investigate the stop. Kathy Jennings saying she is deeply troubled by what she saw and calling the deputies' reasoning for the search questionable at best. Late today, the president of Del State University said he spoke with the sheriff, but says the body cam footage raises more questions than it answers.
The university president releasing this statement one day ago, saying in part that law enforcement members tried to, quote, intimidate their student athletes into confessing to possession of drugs, and that they do not intend to let this incident pass idly.
Due to the nature of the detail, a canine was part of the stop, and an alert was given by the canine.
Bowman did not take any questions from reporters after the press conference.
It says William Bowman defended the stop, saying he does not believe any racial profiling took place. Okay, so let's say no racial profiling took place. Let's say that, for instance. He defended the stop, saying it wasn't racial profiling. Let's go with that for a second. They pull over a bus. Hey, man, you swerved in the left lane back here. Are you okay? You're kind of doing this thing with the bus. Yeah, do you have a driver's license? Da-da-da. Okay. All right. No racial profiling. I get it. And by the way, we're going to search all the bags on this bus for drugs. Let's say they're not racially profiled. They're still committing a Fourth Amendment civil rights violation. Let's say all the people on the bus are white and they still search all the bags. That's still a Fourth Amendment violation. Let's say all the people are Asian. That's a Fourth Amendment civil rights violation. Let's say they're Hispanic. That's a civil rights violation. Fourth Amendment. Racial profiling or not.
We don't single anybody out, and I'll explain. This is our job. This is what we do.
I'm not looking for a little bit of marijuana, but I'm pretty sure you guys as chaperones are probably going to be disappointed in you if we find it.
Lacrosse player Sydney Anderson, who wrote this article for the HBCU's newspaper about their experience, says the team felt racially profiled as deputies searched bags for 20 minutes.
Majority of my team is black, my head coach is black, and the bus driver was black. So there was no correlation between a traffic law violation and them checking our luggage.
Liberty County, Georgia Sheriff's deputies might not have been able to know what the passengers on the bus looked like when they pulled the driver over for illegally using the left lane, but the predominantly black team members are pretty sure the stop lasted longer and their bags were more thoroughly searched because they were black. And they're pretty sure that's why the deputies talked down at them and suggested they knew they had drugs in their bags.
If there is something in there that is questionable, please tell me now. Because if we find it, guess what? We're not going to be able to help you.
Bowman also said, the sheriff, police did not search the personal belongings of any lacrosse team members, a sharp contrast from the accounts of several people who were on the bus. Oh, they didn't search all the... Come on. There was one bag that didn't get searched. No, he said they didn't search the personal belongings. The sheriff wasn't there. He's taken the word of his deputies. Every member of the team on that bus and the coach and the bus driver say they searched our bags.
I don't think those officers would admit that they treated these young women any differently than they would have treated a bus full of blonde, blue-eyed Villanova students. But we know that our internal biases do come into play.
We're going to get out of here. You guys enjoy the rest of your trip.
Tim Furlong, NBC 10 News.
In a letter to the school community, the Delaware State President Tony Allen said Kearney, the Office of the State Attorney General, and the State Congressional Delegation and the Congressional Black Caucus all have been informed of the incident. Allen wrote, "They, like me, are incensed. They should be. We have also reached out to Georgia law enforcement and are exploring options for recourse, legal and otherwise, available to our student athletes, our coaches, and the university." This is a civil rights violation, hands down. The ACLU needs to jump all over this. Carney said in his statement the office would do everything we can to assist the university with learning more about the incident and any appropriate next steps. Yes, don't let this rest. Now, ending it, he says, I'm proud of our students for handling the experience with remarkable composure, though I'm sorry they were made to go through it all. That's from the governor. And you know what's going to happen to these cops? Nada. They're going to continue to violate people's civil rights, and their sheriff's going to go, well, you know what? We good. Yeah, good at violating people's civil rights. How dare he defend those Nazi cops? I said it. I said it. I stole your mama's credit.